Welcome to the meeting in regards to the modifications that we need to make on the UT front-end module production line, in particular Station 50. The objective of this meeting or this presentation is to give a brief overview of the current condition that we're seeing in regards to the capability nonconformance on the UT front-end module. Within the last 4 weeks, we've noticed that we've had some issues with nonconformances, in particular to Station 50. So, purpose of this meeting again is to go over it, our findings, discuss the current statistical trends that we're seeing, and then discuss the modifications that need to transpire in order to regain statistical control on the front-end module. So, overview. Regarding the UT front-end module process, the SPC data that is being collected on an ongoing basis shows that we have an issue with meeting the process performance of 133, which is a requirement on a subset of points that are frequently measured. These points are agreed upon between us and the customer. This is a group of points that we need to show statistical control on an ongoing basis. In regards to the points that are in question, the subset of points are SBC 2 and 3, which these are the critical interfaces that reside in the grill support. This sets up a build objective for the customer relative to the hood. So yes, these are important points that we need to monitor, and we do monitor on an ongoing basis. The deficiency of performance in these areas are attributed by a lack of robustness at Station 50 on front-end module production line. So Station 50 is where we do the fixture setting of the grill support to the carrier, as everyone is aware of. And we have noticed that there are some deficiencies on this station that we need to address. So what you see here on the screen is the data collection for SBC2. As you can see, the picture shows where we're taking the point, which is an up-down direction point, and the data, the trend chart, is for the entire month. This is last month, of course. We're showing a PP of 0.88 and a PPK of 0.62. Again, the target is 1.33. And so we are not hitting the target, of course. As you could see, each week, we started out the first week, quite high, and then we've come down 0.66, 0.91, 0.96. So it seems like there has to be some preventative maintenance that needs to be completed on the station as well. This is SBC3, same story. Target needs to be 133. On an average, we're meeting 0.97 for PP, 0.66 for PPK. So again, our percentages are low. We need to hit 100% on target, and we're not there. Moving on, so Station 50 issues. After reviewing the station in our investigation, we need to implement additional clamps at the setting station to ensure that the end effector that holds the grill support is properly constrained to the mating component, which is the carrier on the line. So what we've noticed is there's not proper clamping. We should have clamps on all areas that are interfacing between the end effector and the grill support, and we do not have sufficient amount of clamping at all these target zones. So that was noticed right away. In addition, we need to exchange the current static pins that hold the grill support with dynamic spring-loaded pins. So right now we have the static pins, which they do engage the hole, but the problem is the hole size varies. So if we go with the tapered spring-loaded pins, regardless of the feature size, the pin will always engage the hole all the way around the circumference, which would give us better engagement and better location strategy. To prove out our hypothesis, we did implement temporary provisions as best as we could to replicate the modifications, and based on the study, it appears that these changes are a viable solution. Here's the data in regards to the study that we did. So as you can see, with the temporary provisions that were in place, we're hitting our target. Actually, we're overachieving on our target. SPC2, we're at a PP of 2. PPK is 1.57. SPC3 is, the PP is 1.96. The PPK is 1.49. So again, this is good news. So that our strategy and what we've reviewed and what we've strategized in regards to these, what we thought would be needed on the Station 50 does show to be a good means of fixing the issue. Okay, in regards to cost and timing, we received a quotation from the supplier, Classic Tool. According to the quote, the cost is $18,000. It'd be 1 week in design, 2 weeks to make the modification. Talking to the cost estimator, Dale, it's not a big deal. The $18,000 is well within our budget for the remainder part of the year, so not an issue there. The plan would be to have Classic make the modifications over the 2-week holiday shutdown at the end of the month here. We cannot do it within production time because, again, we'll slow production down. We can't do that while in production. We won't be able to, build product to deliver to the customer. So, best time to do it would be at the end of the month during the 2-week shutdown. As far as support goes from the plant, we do have personnel that can be there during the 2-week shutdown to support Classic as they implement the modifications. Okay, and here's the quote for Classic. As I said, total $18,000. We're looking at installation, 2 weeks, and basically this is just a line item breakdown of the cost. Conclusion: modifications are imperative to the operation. We need approval to kick off the supplier in order to resolve the discrepancy on Station 50, and also to get capability back on target. Like I said, the temporary measures that were implemented proves to be effective based on the data that was provided. So we need to get the long-term corrections implemented as quickly as possible. There hasn't been any reported issues with the customer. However, we are not in conformance, therefore we are shipping product to them that is not approved. So that is an issue, which we need to get that resolved. And then, like I said, in closing, we just need approval this week to keep within the timing constraint. So we need to get this kicked off by the end of the month, and we can just put this behind us. So that's all. If there's any questions or concerns, just let me know. Thank you all for coming.